Oh, okay, of course. Forky's got a girlfriend. Knifey. That is not a good name for a girlfriend, my guy. That, you might be getting shanked before the end of this movie. To be fair, I know a lot of people that wouldn't mind that. A surprise drop! The Toy Story 5 teaser trailer is here, randomly on Remembrance and Veterans Day. Even still, we've been waiting for actual eyes-on footage for this film for a very long time, basically just relying on screenshots of presentations up to this point. Now, if you have been keeping up with all of those screenshots and the likes from D23, you likely already know all of these details, but this is very much confirming exactly where they're going with this, and also the vibes and the visuals. And the visuals, I'm gonna be honest, weirdly, not 100% off. Whoa, they are glossy in this. Ooh, that's a little strange. I mean, I know it's gonna be just upgrading animation every time, but Slinky Dog has never felt more plastic. Is that even Slinky Dog? Did he always have a divot on his chest? I mean, fine. Yeah, right. It definitely looks stylistically different. We'll see. I'm not quite going to go so far as to say that it feels like Shrek 5. They're not exactly redesigning all the characters, but the lighting is just so blinding, and the characters are so glossy. It kind of feels like Shrek 5's Pinocchio would fit in the room of Toy Story here, you know? And I mean, I guess they are made out of plastic, all of these toys, but something about it, I don't know, it doesn't gel with me quite as well. Maybe it's because also they're perfectly clean, especially considering these toys are literally hand-me-downs that are at least 15 years old or something. It's surprising that they are so polishedly perfect, but I guess they could have been cleaned in universe. I'll get over it, I'm sure. One of the smallest hills to really die on. But there are certainly some other topics that are worth getting a little bit more fussy about, but we'll get there with a little bit of time. I will say though, animation on the emotions is pretty damn good. Jessie looks well expressed in scary. Maybe it's because I've been watching Toy Story 2 recently, so I'm stuck in 1999 accolades. Maybe this isn't even something I should be praising in a 2025 movie, but what can I say? I'm a bit of a Pixar fanboy. Now, it is generally around this time of year that a new trailer from Pixar is going to be coming out. I was fully mentally prepared for one at 5 o'clock today. Random 8 o'clock 3 hours later threw me through a loop, so I almost missed this one. And though it is only a minute long, it's basically just a character montage all looking scared at the camera. Because there's a new package in stock, and it's interesting to see which characters they chose to follow on with, because there is notably someone missing, and it's not who you... That's the closer they get to like photorealistic. I mean, this is photorealistic animation to a certain extent. The more grotesque and gory that becomes. Like, the dude just yoinked out his wife's eyes when you think about it. I love the ways that the Toy Story universe can stretch itself. Also, I guess that means that Potato Head's still going to be a notable character. Obviously, with the passing of Don Rickles, I was very curious whether they'll just put him further into the background. And I mean, he certainly didn't say anything in this shot, so there's something to be said about that. But good to know they've not completely removed his character. Don't know how they're going to do the rest of the ensemble cast, though. We'll see. That's very nice to see that Don Rickles' character hasn't exactly been removed, but surprisingly, Ham isn't actually shown in this trailer, so one of the few kind of core members of the Toy Story gang is missing. I mean, he is voiced by John Ratzenberger, so surely he's going to appear at some point, unless there's something going on with him in real life. Actually, there is. As it turns out, after the removal of John Lasseter, Ratzenberger was very much not a big fan of the new political lens that they'd put through for Pixar movies going forwards. Whatever. He then stopped appearing in future Pixar films as a new original character, but would go on to reprise his roles in any kind of sequels. If Ham's actually not going to be a voiced character by him in this movie, maybe this is also a first on a sequel front as well. Even still, apparently in researching that factoid, he's still the third highest grossing actor of all time. Either way, I think that's very interesting to see. Oh, nice, okay. See no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil. They fatally did something with the 3 aliens? Okay, alright. Is that what their texture always was? Like, they don't look, I guess they kind of look squishy, but they don't look as squishy anymore. They're clearly bumpy. I'm not sure if I'd describe that as like a squishy, squeaking dog toy anymore. Beyond that though, after seeing other visuals of more of the core cast, be it Jessie and Bullseye, the 3 aliens is a surprise one that they're keeping on with. And Forky now has apparently a wife, which, fine, they have to expand even the modern ensemble cast somehow. Alright, we'll allow it, I guess, sure. The main central point, of course, for this trailer is the new central antagonist, Finally, a new toy is being introduced into the room who is bad. It's not just our gang meeting a new room, it's a bad person meeting into the room, as we're learning about lily pads.
Hi there, I'm Lilypad. Let's play!
Yes is over. It's technology versus toys. Oddly enough, I'm surprised they haven't really done it before. It seems like the kind of story they were destined to do eventually. It just somehow took 5 different stories. Always just abandoned toys, museum toys and collector's items, stealing and reselling them for merchandise, and then the likes of daycare nursery and toy torture and being left behind on the shelf, or being funfair toys as prizes instead, or McDonald's fast food knockoff toys. How did they cover all of those stories first and never kids like technology these days? I liked technology as a kid. And Andy literally has an SNES in Toy Story 2. I'm telling you, man, I watched Toy Story 2 recently. This has been a long time coming, and I think there's room for a good message out of this. So let's see how it turns out. It's also interesting, this would be the first technical toy that can move and act and interact in front of a child before. And though it technically happens in Toy Story 1, having like a technology toy that can constantly be alive, that's a new direction. Hey there, thank you for making it to the halfway mark of this video. Come subscribe if you haven't already for more animated movie news. We'll be keeping up with all things Pixar. We usually do Pixar trailers, and we even covered D23 when they were first announcing these movies back in the day. Thanks for joining along and getting this far through, and let's get back to the second half of Toy Story 5. Officially, it's here. And finally, I am really on board conceptually so far. This is gonna be a movie about iPad kids. Thank goodness, man. If there is ever an animated movie that's able to strike a message to the core of some audience members in the form of kids and parents, this is the franchise that will do it. And I think they're going to do a very good job at it too. I'm sure all sorts of us IRL have a lot of gripes around new parenting techniques and iPad children seemingly sucked away by very predatory social media apps. And it's a very obvious talking point that surprisingly hasn't been done before. Toys versus technology. So actually, this element of a Toy Story 5 story, I am very much all for. A lot of it comes down to how well the actual execution of this is, as I'm quite a big defender of Toy Story 4. I think that was a valuable, good story to put on top, as much as it does kind of muddy the perfect ending of Toy Story 3. This very much seems to be going further down that slippery slope of a spectrum. However, though the visuals I'm not 100% on, the message I think could be worth it being told. But also, this does make Toy Story 3 the central middle point of the franchise, which is maddening to think about. But while we're on the topic of how well they can actually execute this movie, there are some obvious red flags, and that is the fact that look who just bloody shows up. What? Hell, excuse me? Why? Oh, what? Why? Why? I'm gonna assume this is just like trailer bait, like this is the same kind of teaser where it's not really real, in the same one as the big long circles for Toy Story 4 where they're doing the big, whatever, you know, ring around the rosies thing. I don't think they're actually that petrified of a package. It's just visual overlapping, but also, why is he there? If anything, I would be more than on board with a Toy Story 5 that doesn't have Woody in it. Whether it would do well, I couldn't tell you, but certainly having him just randomly appearing in Bonnie's bedroom again, and this is the first time in canon, I guess, we've seen it, and we're not going to address it, God, that's a big dent down on my perception of this movie for a moment, you know? This very much does feel like a blanket, forget the last 4 films, we're doing something new now. No context, no extra details, no even new design that apparently he might have pulling into some leaks. There is a lot of other material we know about the new movie, as well as some characters and some scenes and some circumstances that I'm not fully going to go into here unless you don't want to hear the full spoilers of that. Although we have covered a good few chunks of it in the past if you want to check out our coverage on the D23 presentations, first talking about Toy Story 5. But the fact that Woody just appears now, suddenly, I ain't crazy on. Now, as you probably saw me saying in the past, I do think it's just marketing, it's not actually that specific, and we don't need to worry about it just yet. But it is a shame that that is like his first official appearance, when I would have loved to have seen more of, I don't know, given the Bo Peep treatment, and we see him in that context first. I don't know. I think Woody is kind of going to be the make or break on how well this movie is perceived, you know? Buzz Lightyear's had all sorts of issues through every subsequent film he's in, getting dumber and dumber and having less of a place as a character, but Woody is very integral to how the endings of these movies go. And while there may still be plenty of stories to tell within the Toy Story universe, the fact that they're not willing to take the dive and get off of the main characters and bringing them back again every time is a bit of a dampener. But also I can see why they do it. Now, one other thing there is to note, though, actually, on the Woody design, is the fact that he's not actually wearing his sheriff badge. That is because in the canon of the end of Toy Story 4, he gave it away to Jessie. Oddly enough, she doesn't have the badge either right now. But hey, maybe it's just marketing material. Easier to remove a badge off of a model than add a fake one on, you know? But I would certainly hope to see as well, I'm going to be keeping an eye on how they handle Jessie as a character, because I would hope she would take more of a leadership role without Woody being the new sheriff and that symbolism going on there, so that it can be more prevalent for Buzz and Jessie. I just hope she doesn't just get left behind when Woody shows up, you know? Also, though, they look like Who plastic now. I guess they're meant to. I don't know. I don't think I like the shiny gloss. I like the slightly more softer lighting in any earlier Toy Story movie. Even 4 is fine. These guys, they're like constantly glowing with the brightest light in their room. It very much is like Toy Story 1 and Andy's bedroom. It was way too overexposed, it felt like back in the day. Damn, man. I don't know. I don't like the plastic. But they're made of plastic. What a shame, we're getting visuals that are too good, I guess. It's also just awfully uncharacteristic. They're kind of becoming parodies of themselves in a little bit, you know? Like, sure, Woody has looked that scared in the past. I don't think I've ever seen Buzz that scared, you know? Or if he has, they've played it off in a completely different style, like in Toy Story 3, where he just smiles blankly and then puts on his helmet. I don't know, man. It's just teaser bait, you know, it's just to get the vibes. We're now all learning it is in fact about iPad babies, thank goodness. What a great topic to touch on. The rest of it, feels a little extra Disney, you know? Oh, and they're doing the notification sound effect as well. A classic, but also not been done in Toy Story. I've been umming and ahhing the needle on where to stand when it comes to Toy Story 5. I think there's a lot of good room for really great storytelling and messaging, and a lot of simple sequel slop coming, and it all comes down to the execution, which this trailer, unfortunately, doesn't give us a big enough picture for me to make a final judgment call of. There are red flags, but also it's just marketing. We'll just have to wait around for the real proper trailer at some point soon. With it coming out summer 2026, expect something in like February or March. And when that does release, I'll be here dashing about getting it done as fast as I can. For now though, since this is less than a minute long, less than 50 seconds, I probably need to stop talking about this damn thing. So for now, my name's been Daz. Thank you very much for reaching the end of this video. Do tell me your thoughts on your first impressions of Toy Story 5 with your actual eyes. I'd love to hear all of your thoughts and more. Check out our other videos covering this movie for more thoughts on more details. But otherwise, I shall see you all in a little bit. Cheerio. Alright, yep, give me nothing. Tell me absolutely nothing. That's fine, it's a teaser trailer. I love it when I have nothing to bounce off of. First shot, let's go.